Hugh. Nice to meet you. We saw the enthusiasm of the youngsters here today. That really shows the Games is encapsulating and really inspiring young people, doesn't it?
It's one of the rather strange things that I've been conscious of in the 8 years that I've been involved in this process, is that the level of enthusiasm for London 2012 is greatest amongst young people. You can sometimes go and talk to audiences over the age of 50, and they're all worried about the cost or the disruption or whatever it is. Young people really get this, and it is going to be a great year for them.
And you visit a lot of these institutions, a lot of colleges and universities as well. Do you really sort of feel the sense of anticipation building up to the Games?
You only had to look around this morning to see the reception that Steve Redgrave got. Actually, the reception that anybody got, because we're involved in the Games, and we got Steve Redgrave here. The sense of excitement is absolutely tangible. It's not just a government minister saying that. Over 9 million people have already turned out to follow the torch around the country. That is way beyond even our wildest expectations, and I think tells you a lot about the sense of anticipation around the Games.
And what sort of difference can funding make to community centres like this?
I was very conscious when I was in opposition back in 2008 and 2009 that one of the unforeseen consequences of what we call whole sport plan funding, which is paying sport governing bodies to increase participation, was that they were concentrating that funding on a small number of key target clubs around the country. So they were basically putting their eggs in one basket, their best coaches, their facility development money to ensure that they got this talent pathway coming through. That is fair enough, but what it means, of course, is that a number of small community facilities are sort of dropping off the end of the board. That was why we increased the amount of money that sport gets through the National Lottery from 13.7% to 20%. That gave us the extra financial firepower to deliver schemes like this that have now dished out grants to 850 facilities up and down the country to do their changing room, to put in a knee sprung floor, whatever it is.
And just a final point, Hugh, the Games only a matter of days away now. There's a lot of volunteers, a lot of games makers who will be operating at the Games throughout the 3-week periods. How crucial a role do they play, and how important are they to the London 2012 cause?
If you look at big sports events elsewhere in the world, generally they are judged by the quality of welcome people get from the volunteers. I remember this myself particularly clearly from the Melbourne Commonwealth Games back in 2006, went out as a guest of the Australian government. The welcome we received from the volunteers, who actually were not always young people, were often retired people sitting on street corners, on a deck chair with a thermos flask and a box of sandwiches. We just made sure that everybody knew where they were going, knew how to get from one place to another, and had a really good experience in Australia. And that's what we've got to aim for here as well.